All right, so 23 says, if a piece of legislation is the result of negotiation and compromise between competing interest groups, it will not satisfy any of those groups. All right, so what kind of condition does if introduce?
Sufficient.
Yes, so if it is a result of negotiation and a compromise between the competing interest groups, then it's not going to satisfy any of the groups. All right, so we can see that the recently enacted trade agreement represents a series of compromise among the various interest groups that are concerned with it, because all of those groups are clearly unhappy with it. All right, so our conclusion here is that that this trade agreement must have been a series of compromise because everybody is unhappy with it.
Yeah.
Is that a valid conclusion?
No.
No. What kind of flaw is this?
Or no, oh, I know the causal. Because of this, because this has this quality, everything's gonna have it.
Nope. Okay, so what guarantees that something is not going to be, people aren't going to be happy or satisfied?
What is it? What do you mean?
When do we know for sure that, okay, so it says because clearly unhappy with it, I'm just going to use not satisfied as this. What do we know can cause people to not be satisfied?
If a piece of legislation is a result of a negotiation and compromise between competing groups.
So does that mean that if people are not satisfied, it must have came from compromises?
No.
No, what kind of flaw is that? What do we do? What do we do with our necessary condition?
Oh, you flip them.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry, I know what you confused the necessary for
yes.
Yeah, sorry.
We take a necessary condition.
Yeah, for sufficient. Yeah, sorry.
We can see that really a series of compromise. Yeah, we take something that is necessary for something and act as if we have it. It's sufficient. Yep, excellent. So let's go ahead.
Where I got off with the part to hold.
Oh, you're fine.
It's a Monday.
So let's go ahead and read through these.
It draws a conclusion that is merely a disguised restatement of one of its premises. No, it does not do that.
Nope. It's not circular reasoning.
Yeah. It concludes that a condition necessary for a certain result merely from the claim that the condition leads to that result. Yes, I like that one.
Okay.
Because it's basically saying what we talked about. So it relies on understanding a key term in a quite different way in the conclusion from the way that the term is understood in the premise. No.
Yeah, do we have any equivocation going on here?
No.
Nope.
It takes for granted that no piece of legislation can ever satisfy all competing interest groups.
Do we assume that no piece of legislation can ever satisfy different interest groups? Nope. Way too strong. We're just talking about this one in particular. This recently enacted trade agreement. It's the only one we're talking about.
It bases a conclusion about a particular case on a general principle that concerns a different kind of case. No.
No, because our general principle is not a different kind of case. I would say that this general rule here can definitely be applied to this. We just take it, no, we reverse it. So yeah, B says it concludes that a condition is needed for a certain result merely from the claim that the condition leads to that result. So this would be on the, so this would be actually referring to our compromise. So it concludes that compromises is needed because that claim compromise can lead to not being happy.
Okay.
And so it's B.
Okay, and